If you want to stay in the same situation, then continue doing what you're doing.
You guys can get on board and go down this 4-lane highway and just rock it out, and you don't have to have a decade of learning process.
Meet people where they are. If you want to have all types of clients, be a Rubik's Cube. Meet them where they want to be met.
We have to know our numbers. We have to know how much we want, and then how many deals do I have to close to make that a reality?
What I want to do over the next half hour or so is give you clarity on the items that really are going to generate money for you and allow you to do things you want to do. So
if you're not currently being coached by the people in the industry that are doing it at the highest level, then you're working too hard to get there.
This is the Next Level Loan Officers Podcast, a proud founding member of the Real Disrupt Podcast Collaborative. You can check out more awesome podcasts at realdisrupt.com. And now, Kenneth Travis and Sean Zalmanoff.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to our Next Level Loan Officers Podcast. I am Sean Zalmanoff, joined by a special guest, Mack Humphrey, today. Before I introduce Mack, though, hey, friends, if this podcast is moving the needle in your business, if you're on Stitcher, you're on iTunes, on Google Play, wherever your favorite medium is to listen to podcasts, do us a favor. Go give us a 5-star review so other people can find out what we're doing for the mortgage industry and move the needle in their business as well, too. Without further ado, Mack, how are you today, man?
Good, man. Living the dream.
I appreciate, man. You are so busy right now. I appreciate you taking an opportunity out of your busy schedule and joining us to help some other loan officers in their journey as well today. So, Mack, you are a member of our top producer huddle inside of Next Level, our quaint little coaching group. And
yes,
man, you've been killing it this year. And I just not only been killing it this year, you like everything just changed for you last year. You're saying that 2019 was the worst year in your business. I'll let you share in a minute how long you've been doing this for and the changes that you happened. But like it was the worst year in your business. And then in January or February of this year, you ended up with the Implementer of the Year award inside the Next Level because of the things that you've been doing to crush it. So, dude, introduce yourself. Tell us a little about you. And, man, how'd you get to this point?
Oh man, just introduce myself. That's a lot. Anyway, I've been doing this for 20 years in the mortgage industry, but I can't say doing this type of business for 20 years. That's really only been about 7 years, and that's relationship-based business, pure commission. Before I was just sitting on the other side of the phone taking inbound refinance calls. It taught me how to play with the numbers, but it didn't teach me how to have relationships that were long-standing that kept going and going and going. So 7 years doing that. Gosh, where am I now? I don't want to skip too far ahead, but so you tell me, where do you want me to start?
So you've been doing this for 7 years on the good side of the business.
Right.
What did you start out like? What made last year, what made 2019, be such a crappy start to the year, and how did you change it? Like what moved the needle in your business?
Right.
Like you just started implementing ideas and strategies. You trusted people that were a little further down the river than you, but like, what did you do that just turned, why was 2019 bad? And how did it end up like setting up the stage for what you're doing this year?
So great question. I believe everything happens for a reason. And 2019, I would probably never, ever want anybody to go through that, or I would never want to relive it. But I know that it happened for a reason. I needed to see that I didn't want to do it anymore. I just, the business wasn't going. I didn't know how to really hold on to relationships. I made a move to another company, which I thought was going to be the end all be all of relationship building. And that wasn't it. What it was is I needed to learn skills, use technology, because as we grow, as this business is growing, it's not done how it was done 20 years ago. It's not done how it was done 2 years ago. COVID, we don't even talk about all that, but that's changed the way we're, playing the game. But what it really came down to was I needed a group of folks to work with that had been doing what I was doing or had come out of what I was doing. and found a better way to do it. I don't know any other better way to say that. And what really moved the needle for me more than anything was just being coachable and just saying, you know what, if there's a wall there, I don't care, I'll run through it. If you tell me to run through it, it's going to move my business to the next level. If I get to the other side of that wall, you've got to tell me I'm going to go from 4 loans a month to 10 loans a month. Put the wall there, and I'll just go get it.
Well, now it's different for you though, because like you're strong enough to run through a wall. So
it's mental. You know, none of the stuff you guys told me to do was an act of physicality. It was an act of mentality, you know. So it was, you know, here's what you need to do. Now I'll implement that. Instead of waiting around and thinking about it and going, well, what if, and what if it doesn't work? And what if I spend that money and it doesn't happen? And I had to switch my brain to say, what happens if I don't do it? So every time I saw something that I thought could move my needle or make life easier for me, I just said, all right, let's just do it. What do I have to lose? Right now, I'm in a bad situation, you know, and I'm here, because I haven't done anything different than what other people are doing. And now we are very different. We are, when we go.
Well, here, I just got to call a timeout for 1 second. So people are listening to this right now and they're like, of course he's having a good year. Rates are great. And Mack's probably done, 99% refi business. And I just wanted, like, that's not the case. We were just talking before the call, like you haven't even been able to fully tap into the refi pipeline because of how busy you've been on the purchase side.
Yeah, no, I was, you guys, I told you guys, I was turning away business. I was literally turning away refinance business. And then I started to realize that my past clients, I wasn't doing them justice by not reaching out and talking to them because they were going other directions. And then they come back to me later and go, oh yeah, Mack, I did this, that. I go, God, I wish I had talked to you because I could have helped you out. So now, I'm starting to look in that direction. But even last month, we only did 3 refinance loans.
You closed 11 last month, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And we only did 3, and those were just, they were there. So
I appreciate you giving us a little bit of credit, but man, you've done the work. Like, so when we met last year, you were a team of 1, and talk about your team right now. You got your wife to come join your business, and you've built it more. I mean, funny thing, like a few months ago, you were telling me that like your branch manager asked if he could just join your team. And so like explain what you've done and like the roles that you've developed and plugged people into and how that's working for you right now.
Okay. So, back in October when I met with you guys in Fort Lauderdale, literally there was no team. It was just me doing the same old thing that I've been doing, grinding it out, headaches, no time for my family, could not step away from this thing, and it was terrible. So the team has now grown. You can actually just so happen to have it right here, the divide and conquer. This was the key. We sat down in that meeting and we went through that divide and conquer, and we started to just started to put people in the proper position to leverage their talents. So my talent was not organization and doing paperwork and all that. So then we said, okay, need a good processor. Went out, got a good processor, phenomenal processor. Setting up events and talking to real estate agents and doing all that. Yeah, I've done that. That's what we built business on. But I wanted someone who could spend a lot of time doing that. So I hired my now wife to do that part of it, and she's doing a great job at doing that. My big thing has always been the marketing piece of it, just getting out there and getting in front of people. So now I'm in my zone, in my Zen zone. So we also have a virtual assistant that, does some Facebook things and posts and following up on a few different things. But it was just really that divide and conquer going, whoa, I'm trying to do way too much and I'm not getting anything done. And then I'm wondering why I'm stuck at this 3 or 4 loans.
It's funny, like we've all been there. It's like you're busy as can possibly be. You've got no time off, and you're closing 3 or 4 loans a month. Then you start closing 10 or 15 loans a month, and you build a team, and it's like, man, I've got more freedom because you're not doing all the bullshit that drives you down and sucks like all of the energy out of our life. So like last October, how many hours a week were you spending, doing the marketing functions, doing things that drive business, and how much time are you spending now?
Man, I was probably working from 6 in the morning to probably 10 at night. And that was every day but Sunday. And I would say Sunday it would fall into those two because I had to make myself available for everybody all the time.
What were you doing working 95 hours a day and closing 4 loans a month?
Chasing my tail, man. Just answering questions for everybody, answering every single phone call, responding to every single text message, trying to put out every single fire, whether it was this big or it was this big. That's why I said it was just utter bleh. Like what I'd done is I did a good job of marketing because that's my spot. But then you create this stuff because everybody now knows who you are and they want to talk to you. And then it's a bunch of blah, 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 all over the place. So what we did is we just started to divide. We divided it. We just divide and conquered. And then now everybody is working, the normal hours. My goal is to, when I sat down in October, my goal is to work a 4-day week. Not quite there yet, but we're about 4.5. And the half is only because I implemented video and all that. So on Fridays, we sit down and game plan videos for the next week. We game plan anything marketing related the first part of the day. So I work from 9 to 12.
And you're not available. I noticed when I was on your calendar link too, you got Fridays blacked out so nobody can even book time on your calendar.
No.
It's amazing what happens when you just cross it off, huh?
It is. And literally I thought I was going to lose business. Yeah, I lost the people that were calling me at 9 p.m. at night to check a guideline, and they didn't even have a client that was qualified. So what is, and then I picked up, agents that now send, 3 and 4 deals a month. So it's now my dilemma is okay, I need to find more of those folks and just get a little bit more laser beam out there.
It's nice, when we get to that point in our business and you start to get that doubling and tripling like you've had and you build the team, when you're closing 3 or 4 loans a month, I know I've been there, and like you feel like you have to be everything to everybody. And if they call at 9 o'clock at night, it's like, dude, that's 1/3 of the money I'm going to make this month. Like I have to get that phone because I need to feed my family. I need to eat myself. And then all of a sudden you start closing 10 loans a month and you got that person's calling you at 9 at night for some deal. Like you said, for, I won't throw credit scores out there, but some bad credit score that's not going to qualify anyway.
Right.
And you're just like, man, I don't need it. I had an agent who, they tried to send us business, and she was just incredibly unorganized. And she'd be like, I try to get a hold of you and your team on Saturdays. I just can't. I'm like, well, I'm with my family a lot of Saturdays. Like we like to go camping on the weekends, just and strategically pick state parks that they don't get good cell phone reception. And it was just like, and I was just honest with her. I was like, my team's available. We'll answer the phone on Saturdays and Sundays. They're generally available for people who send us good business, who also, plan their day during the week. And we talk to most of their clients then, but just because you're unorganized. And she was like, I'm not in this. I'm like, hey, it's cool. I was like, we're just not a good fit. And it's like, it's so freeing to tell people that you're not a good fit. And like, I mean, and then somebody is listening to this and like, well, what if they go back and tell somebody that? Like, they're going to tell somebody in their office, man, Sean told me, Mack told me that I was disorganized And like, because I was disorganized, they told me that I wasn't a good fit because I call them at inopportune times.
Right.
Probably like, well, that's pretty damn good advice. Maybe you should take it and do something about it.
Maybe you should get a little more organized. No, and you're right. You know, and I don't want to come off like I don't ever work on Saturdays, but because you do, like you said, the agents that are sending you your partners, they're truly partners because they respect your time, but they also will say, hey, Mac, I got this thing I need to get done. Can you help me out with it? We were in New Mexico last weekend, and we put three deals under contract on a Saturday, but that took 15 minutes out of my day. 15 minutes.
You made a few $1,000 for 15 minutes?
Exactly. All I had to do was call the listing agent and tell them how great our client was, and they accepted the offer and respected it. That's okay. You know, that's okay. They're not just willy-nilly, you know. So,
because you'd had those clients pre-approved during the week or the week before, and you just had to help them get their offer accepted, not start at step zero.
Exactly. The technology piece we've talked about over and over, of being proactive instead of reactive, not running around trying to get a pre-approval letter at 10 o'clock on a Sunday because they decided now they want to put in an offer. You know, we actually did a exercise, and I went back in time, and I can't, all of the pre-approvals I've done on Saturday at the last minute, I've never, ever closed it because they only called me because they couldn't get a hold of the person that they had originally gotten approved with.
Oh, Mac, I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to use my business. Oh, hey, they're an eighth of a point better. Or they just didn't even pick up the damn, they didn't even have the courtesy to pick up the damn phone afterwards. And you talk to them and you set it up and you tell them, I'm only doing this if you use me. And they just abuse you. They don't use you.
That's exactly what it was. And then it come to find out that the agents that they were working with were basically telling them to do the same thing. So they didn't respect me. They didn't respect my time. So it's a tough lesson to learn. But once you get beat up enough from it, you get older, you just say, no, not going to do it that way. There is a better way to do this business, and I didn't learn it until about October of last year.
Oh, yeah. Who'd you meet then?
Some guys, I think next level, something like that.
Something.
I got a hat. I think I had a hat, something like that.
So what's next, man? So 3 or 4 loans, struggling, working 100 hours a week a year ago, 10 plus loans a month right now, most purchase. Like what's next for the team? Like, are we very happy at the spot that we're at, or what does your business look like a year from now? What are you building?
What we're really building right now is consistency, because 10 loans, 11 loans, 12 loans, those are great. What I don't want to do is I don't want to do this again in my life. Now, will you have some time to go like that? I'm okay with that. But we want to keep climbing, and we want to get consistent. And that's, I try not to talk about fear because, fear, false evidence appearing real. You just stay around people that are motivating you to go forward. But I can't tell you that every now and then I don't wake up in the middle of the night and go, oh God, is this true? Is this really happening? I don't want to go back there. So I want to keep doing the things and stay around people that continually motivate me to continue to climb. Because as long as I'm climbing, I'm living. And I don't know what the number looks like. I don't know if it gets to 20, 30 or whatever it is, or it just stays at 10 to 15, but I'm living the life of my dreams, where I'm working 3 days a week and golfing and going hiking and running and working out. That's actually my dream life. So maybe it is 10. I mean, it's pretty good chunk of change,
Man, I will tell you, I've been very fortunate. I've been doing this a few years now, and I said almost 20 years. And I say I've been on the relationship side almost the whole time, but I say I have about 12 years of experience because for quite a few years I lived the same year over and over again. And I'm fortunate enough, I got more than a few years of reserves saved up. But I still wake up sometimes like that. I still get that anxiety sometimes before I go to bed and have that fear. And it's not fear that I use to come in and scare the crap out of the other people on my team and my other loan officers. But man, it like once, calm down and pull it back in, like, man, it's good to feel that. That's what keeps me, grounded and knowing that I still like, if I never made another penny in my life, I'm not at that point yet. And, even when I'm at that point, like, then it's about setting my family up and my legacy up and being able to do things for my children and hopefully their children that was never even thought of in my family before. And so like, it's good to have that fear.
I got a question for you now.
Yeah.
So how do you just stay in the realm of just consistency, knowing that what you're doing is right and just keep doing it? Because it's showing dividends. So just keep doing it and not trying to make changes all the time. Well, there's always a new shiny stone.
I actually am making changes all the time. And that's like, I'm not complacent. Like, there are certain things that we do very well. But like, when, I've been fortunate that, I worked at the same place for the last 11 years. And every time, like when the Great Recession happened and when TRID happened, like LO comp changes happen, like we've been really good at adapting and I've been good at adapting. So I've never chosen to like, oh shit, COVID, I'm going to put my head in the sand. Like,
right.
What's the opportunity? So we cut margin and made it even better for my team, my loan officers to go get more loans when other people were like, we're not doing that thing. So I'm always like, dude, if somebody's zigging, I'm zagging. Like, how can I do something different? How can I tweak my process? How can I improve it? We got fintech coming for us. And I think although it's interesting, I believe that COVID has actually sped up that process, but I also think it's made the advisor even more important than ever. And so how do we continue to deliver that in the market? I haven't done a lot of realtor phone calls or realtor meetings in quite a few years, but I've taken the opportunity with Zoom and I've gotten back into that. And I haven't taken realtor opportunities in meetings because honestly, they haven't been worth my time. And because like, it's just, it wasn't in my zone of awesomeness. And I had to, I don't want to drive 30 minutes, have coffee, 2.5 hours later, dude, I can knock out 4 meetings in 2 hours now. And so it's just always about how we can implement technology. What are the new things that are coming out? A ton of us use BombBomb. How can I make my CRM better? How can I market? So there's constant tweaks. And it's just like, my greatest moments in coaching are when somebody looks at me 6 months later, like, dude, like, I don't really like, and then it's kind of like, I don't want it to be a backhanded compliment. I don't feel like you've told me a lot, but I can't believe how much better my business is. And so even as you were going, like, you've implemented a ton, but like, I know for a fact that you can't put in what God left out. And so you had the talent, like the marketing, it's there. You just needed to be able to stay in that lane and do it. And so what I'm always telling people, it's like, dude, you need to go at 180 degrees and you're traveling at about 165. And so I don't need to burn down your house or wreck it and rebuild it from the ground up. Man, you actually got a good foundation. We might need to build another layer or two, or it might just be turning the screw on the door, that squeaky door that you walk by for 6 months. And so that's what like we're continually doing inside of the business, because if we weren't changing and weren't adapting, if I didn't live through margin compression, if all this, gosh, we thought the end of days was upon us with COVID and what was going on here just recently. And we still don't know what it looks like completely on the other side. But man, we knew the refis were going to be great. And we just didn't realize how great the purchase business is still was going to continue and really is coming out of the other side. And so it is a constant tweaking process. My team hates it sometimes, but they don't.
That's what it is. The team hates it because we're always tweaking. They're like, I just want to be here, But it's been 6 months to get the foundation again, really leveled out and put our pillars in place. And now I know the numbers that should come from each one of those pillars, I have my realtors, I have my online presence, we have our events, and we have our past clients. Those 4 pillars, and anybody can say, hey, I'm going to get 2 from here, 2 from here, 3 from here. That's what it's allowed me to do and to truly focus on those things.
And then, when you find those things that work better for you, then, you hire another person for that team. So whether it's your past clients, your online presence, or realtors, or whatever it is, it's like, man, we figured out something that's working better than everyone else. I can take that from 2 to 6 in that pillar. I'm going to bring, you and I were talking before this, there's another 2 people that we're going to bring onto our team to add a role that doesn't exist and to fill another role that we need for the volume. And it's just like, how can we tweak it? How can we make it better? And the biggest thing is like, as I am constantly tinkering with this, is how to make the team buy in. Because one of the things that as you continue to grow in your business and we all continue to grow in our business, like we can't make the decision for our team. We have to show them what it looks like at the end, present a path on how to get there, and then it needs to be their decision. That's probably the best advice. I think I learned it the hard way. And then somebody was like, well, this is actually what you're doing. This is why that situation worked, Sean, and that one didn't. And the more that I've let them decide on that outcome with a little bit of guidance, the easier it's been for us all to get there.
Makes sense. Like, just as we were talking right now, I already thought of something I need to do.
Well, and I just hope for everybody listening right now that like you're hearing what Mack said. Like I was, I didn't know what you were going to say when I was asking what's next. And so we all, so many of us think, all right, man, well, I'm doing 5 now, I'm doing 10 now. It's got to be more and more and more. It's like, man, what does it just take for you to live the life that you want? Because like you're doing this to live the life that you want, not to just close more and more and more. And I loved your answer.
Well, thanks. That is it. And, just finally being in a place where I'm not going to say I'm totally exhaling yet, because it's only 6 months in. I was having a conversation with Brian on the phone the other day, and it's just to continue to grow, like I said, and being okay. And that's why I wanted to hear from you, like what you do, how you handle change, is just continuing to grow, and not just grow in the business, but grow as a person, grow as a team, loving on my team, and let them know how much I respect them and appreciate them. Because, I come from a team environment in sports, and there is nobody that does it by themselves. And as soon as you feel that way, that you are doing it all by yourself, you are doing it by yourself, and you don't have a life. And I was there. I did that. And I don't ever want to go back to it.
I don't like the New England Patriots, but that's how they did it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Actually, I did like them last year when they were playing the Rams. But other than that, I guess 2 years ago when they were playing the Rams. But
I like them more. I like them more this year.
Well, Mack, man, I appreciate you joining us. Anything else? Any parting words you have for anybody listening or watching us today?
And if you haven't, or you're looking for a coaching platform, I've been through a lot of them. I won't throw out any names, but whichever one you can throw out, I've probably talked to them and tried it. This by far, and I'm not just saying it because I'm on your podcast, but by far a group of men and women that really want to see you successful. It's not about, how much money you make or anything like that, or how many come in here starting with. Nobody looks down on that. It's purely about putting you in a place where you're happy. So whether that's because I remember sitting in that meeting, and I think somebody said that, and I didn't believe it until now. Like, it doesn't matter where you want to be. We just want to help you get there. That's it. So, and listen and just do it. Just do it. Don't think about it. Just do it. It's like Nike, right? Just do it.
Best tagline ever. Man, I appreciate that endorsement. And hey, if it is about something different than that for you, like, then go find somebody else, because that's not what it is for us. I know that every loan officer, no matter where you're at in your river of your career and your life, that some coaching platform for you is better than no coaching platform. If it is us, we'd be honored to help you. If it's not us, man, go find somebody to help you, because you will get what you want in life quicker. And
A lot quicker.
a
A lot quicker. You're going to pay one way or the other.
Yeah, my coach, he's like famous for saying, like, you pay for the experience or you pay the piper, but yes, you pay one way or the other.
Well, man, thanks for having me on. I hope somebody takes this and makes a move.
Wait,
Whatever they do.
If you all are Mac, I appreciate you. Thank you for joining us. And for those of you, if you want to come find out where we're going to be, because we are excited to get back on the road and have our live events again, go to loanofficerevents.com and come see us. Get on those planes, man. They're still flying. Come check us out, and we will be glad to see you soon. Hope you all have a great and awesome day. And Mac, thanks very much, bro.
You're welcome, man. Thank you.